we also believe that if growth is so important, which it absolutely is, then there is a need for the government, in our view, to use the dividend from the promissory note deal to allow the economy to breathe after next year's budget, to give people some respite. We learned today, for example, from Minister Hogan, that the government intends to bring in water charges on the 1st of January next year, on the very same day when people will be landed with a full year's liability on the property tax. That would push many people over the cliff, and it would put an unbearable burden on thousands of families around the country, and in our view that position will need to be reviewed. Take any questions?
Didn't we always know the water charges were coming next year anyway?
Well, we read during the by-election campaign there that the government were hoping that the introduction of water charges could be pushed out by a year or so. That would appear now not to be the case. But the government did promise, as far back as 2 years ago, that there would be a full national audit of the water network. When you look at what has been happening in Dublin City in recent days, for example, then it's very difficult to ask people to pay for a service that isn't reliable, or a service that simply isn't there at all for some time. And also the issue of metering, because there's no way that the metering programme is going to be anywhere near completed by the 1st of January next year. So it does raise the question as to how the government is going to introduce water charges for the country when you have a metering programme that's only partly completed. So these are questions we certainly want answered. Minister Hogan seemed to be putting it up to Ministers Noonan and Howland today on the radio, inviting them to take up the issue with the Troika to seek a postponement. But that's not really the type of leadership that we need from someone in such an important portfolio.